This segment is brought to you by Buick. Exceptional by design. All right, welcome back. I thought we'd have a little clerk of court inaugural show today. How about that? Y'all ready to do something?
We're ready.
Okay, so what we're going to do, because the people deserve to know the candidates, and a lot of people know both of y'all, obviously, but clerk of court. So let's do this. We're going to give everybody a chance to sort of meet you and get a little bit of your personality today and see how passionate you are about what you want to do. Okay? So, Miss Jody Burton, first of all, how are you doing?
I'm great.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
All
Thank you
right.
for having us here.
See you every now and then in the restaurants with your group. Y'all look like y'all have fun at lunch, right?
We do. We
Yeah.
do. We try to lighten it up.
All right. Of course, State Representative Jerome Zarang, good to see you.
Good to see you, Morton. Thanks for
And you
having me.
brought your lovely wife in the studio today.
My better half.
That's
for
the
sure.
best thing you ever do, is when you bring your lovely wife. I got to give her a plug, Julie. All right, so let's do this. Jody, let's start with you. Clerk of court. It's obvious you've been there quite a few years. Talk about those years and talk about what it's meant to work there, and what do you do every day?
Well, that's a very loaded question, Morton. I've been there for 44 years. I started working in the clerk's office when I was 17 years old under Mr. Bobby Boudreaux. And I have never left that office. I have made a career that entire time in the clerk's office. In that 44 years, I've had the opportunity to work in different areas of the office and learn each of the departments, what they do, what needs to happen to effectively do their jobs. When Ms. Teresa Robichaud was elected 13 years ago, she asked me to come on as her chief deputy, and I did. And together we have brought this office up to date in technology. We've implemented many online services for the public. Every day you walk into that office, you meet different people from different walks of life, and you help them with anything and everything they may need. I love helping people. That's at the core of me, helping people like that. That job has given me the opportunity to reach many people from different walks of life. And it's something that touches your soul when you're passionate about what you do.
All right. Thank you, Jody. So, Jerome, or Z, as many of us call you, you've been in public service for quite a number,
Pretty much
probably
all
over
my
30,
life.
over 30 years now.
Yes.
Yeah. So, it's sort of a change. We've been seeing you at different aspects of government, but now clerk of court's a completely different aspect of government. What made you decide you want to run for that?
Well, Morton, as you indicated, I've been a public servant pretty much all my life. You know, my first job after graduate school here at LSU was working with fishermen and seafood processors, trying to get them up to comply with regulations for safe seafood. And then I worked with the Nature Conservancy to establish the Mandalay Wildlife Refuge, and then working for the Terrebonne Levee District. In fact, I worked with Jody's dad, Mr. Skip, who was a great man, and got that office. We actually started, when I was there, the Morgans of the Gulf Project, getting resources, getting the consistent source of funding that's needed to implement those projects. And then when Garrett got elected, he asked me to come up to help run the CPRA, which is an organization with a budget of over $750 million, 150 employees. So working to get projects done, getting resources that are needed to implement projects has been part of my life. And then when Gordy was termed out, having been indirectly involved in politics, this was the only office I ever ran for, was the representative office that Gordy held, and had an opportunity there, was very fortunate in serving on appropriations, ultimately as chair of appropriations, to what we were lucky with the delegation working together. We brought more resources to Terrebonne Parish to implement projects than it had at any other time that had been in terms of getting the funding that's needed to implement projects. So yes, public service has been a part of my life, but the past 4 years I've had the opportunity in working on judicial reform, but also working on several bills for clerks. I passed a bill 2 years ago to require clerks' offices to require e-filing for all criminal and civil proceedings that have to be e-filed, because a lot of clerks' offices were reluctant and didn't want to necessarily change. So we passed that bill. We also did some judicial reform and trying to get resources that are needed both for clerks and working for the judicial process to make improvements there. So that's what really got me interested. I had the opportunity to work with clerks associations and clerks from across the state. I've seen what good clerks' offices look like, and I've seen some that obviously need some help.
Let's do this too, and I'm going to take a break in about a minute. But first of all, I want to commend both of y'all because I love to see good campaigns, clean campaigns, and God, I've seen quite a few campaigns in 40-something years on TV, and it seems like y'all both working hard, and y'all knew each other before, right?
Just indirectly,
Yeah.
because I worked with her dad at the
Right.
levy district. I saw her a few times. It's been a while, you know, and we
Yeah.
miss her dad. Her dad was a wonderful man, and so I met her a few times when I was the director of the levy district. Her dad was on the board.
Okay, and I'm sure you got to see quite a few people in your 40-some
I
odd
have.
years, right?
I have. It's
Yeah.
been a pleasure meeting all those people.
Is it hard to remember everybody's names?
It is. It is. But you know, it comes back to you after they start talking.
You see
a
their
while.
faces,
Yeah.
then it comes
Yeah.
to you. I have the same problem now,
Exactly.
you know? Let's do this. We'll take a break. We'll come back and do a few more questions. We'll be right back. Very important election coming up. Clerk of Court, don't go away. This segment was brought to you by Buick. Exceptional by design. All right, welcome back. We're joined now by two great individuals who are running for clerk of court. And of course, the current clerk, Teresa Robichaux, is retiring. Special election is scheduled for October 11th, but early voting September 27th through October 4th. So, like I said before, this isn't a debate or forum. It's just to get to know them. We'll have more, in-depth things. We could get into that. It's such an important position, and it's I remember starting under Mr. Bobby Boudreaux for elections, and used to have the old antiquated way where you get up with that chalkboard, and we're going, come on, Mr. Bobby, we need the results, and he'd take his time and do it. Let's talk about, Jody, let's come to you. Your campaign theme is ready to lead on day one. So
Yes.
all of those years of experience, in your mind, you load it up. You know what the bathrooms are, you know what the files are, you know what the halls are.
And the electrical, the plumbing, you name it. Yes.
Okay, talk about that a little bit.
Well, in having been there for that long, I've had the opportunity to work in each of the different departments in that building. And in gaining that knowledge on how to process all of the documents that flow through each of these departments, we were better equipped to produce software in our technology that could accommodate the request of the judiciary first, the attorneys, and the general public. All of those factors have to come into play when you're trying to get technology out there that's going to work for everybody. My experience in the office, having touched each of those areas, gives me the insight on what needs to happen to move our office forward. I have the experience in working in each of the departments, and now as the chief deputy, I have been brought into the fold on handling all of our internal and external finances, the budgets, the audits, all the benefit packages. I handle all of that on a daily basis, along with assisting the clerk in running the office. I hear the needs of the customers that are coming in, and that is of utmost importance to get them what they need when they do come in. That experience cannot be matched in trying to get the knowledge out there to the people on what's involved in running that office. It's a hands-on experience. It's a passion for what you do.
Just real quick, is it a stressful position?
There are days that are very stressful, but then there are days, because you're confident in what you're doing, it's a walk in the park.
Sure, any job could be stressful in town, right?
Yeah.
If it's
Yeah.
worth anything, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Z, you've been in leadership roles in the state. You've seen debates over quite a few things. So with that experience, How do you feel you could translate that into the clerk of court, and how do you make that work for you?
Well, again, as I indicated, for the past few years, I've been working on legislation for clerks to provide resources and encourage improvements in technology and utilize available resources. And I understand, I know Jody says she's talked to customers, and I have too. And I think one of the glaring differences, if you look at Lafourche and how far advanced they are in regard to where we are in Terrebonne, is where I'd like to bring this office, in utilizing integrated approach to computer programs that makes processing of paperwork much quicker. I hear a lot from folks that it takes a while to get paperwork processed in Terrebonne. I think that's an issue, and I'd like to be able to bring the resources available that unfortunately Terrebonne hasn't utilized. I mean, there's resources that were offered by the DA and the judge to make improvements with minute clerks so that the paperwork could be done much quicker. That was refused by the Terrebonne's office. Lecrae is the Louisiana Clerks Remote Access Authority, which its whole purpose is to provide money and programming for offices. And it was established in 2014. And since that time, Terrebonne has only applied for grants in 2017, 2018, and 2021. There's millions of dollars that are available, but we haven't provided or even accessed that money to make improvements that I think this office desperately needs. And that's why I want to run. Again, I've seen what other offices can do. You look at Lafourche and others that have advanced and put integrated systems to make their offices work much more efficiently. And I think we can and should do that here in Terrebonne.
Yeah, Ms. Burton, in fairness, I know you haven't been actually on the top of the office or whatever, but anything to that, or would you change anything, or would you keep a lot the same?
Absolutely. First, there was a program that was introduced about 3 years ago that would help our minute clerks in the courtroom. In order for any program to be instilled in our office and utilized, all of the working parties have to be on the same page, meaning the judiciary has to be on page, the district attorney, the sheriff, and the clerk. There was discussions about 3 years ago on a program that would make that available to the court reporters and the minute clerks in the courtroom. There were several of the parties that were not in favor of this. It wasn't the clerk's office, because we took the stance that whatever you bring to the table, we will listen to this conversation and we're willing. It would make our jobs easier also, but unless all of these parties are on the same page, none of this is possible. And as far as the grants are concerned, we have applied for grants through Lecrae. These grants are designed to help parishes that are smaller in size, that don't have the income level of Terrebonne Parish. Therefore, we're only entitled to partial grants. It's never a full grant. We have utilized every opportunity to reach out and get some of this grant money, but these things are generally reserved for the smaller parishes.
Okay, let's hold that thought. We'll take a break. We'll come right back with our final segment. We're going to have more of these. I know you're going, we want more, we want a lot more. Well, we're going to have more as the time goes on. So we'll take a break. We'll be right back. Don't go away. This segment was brought to you by Cardiovascular Institute of the South, providing our patients the highest quality cardiovascular care available. All right, welcome back. Clerk of Court election coming up October 11th, because the current clerk, Teresa Robichaud, is retiring. Early voting September 27th, October 4th. We have State Representative Jerome Zarang with us. We have Ms. Jody Burton, a longtime employee at the Clerk of Court's office. Z, let me come to you since we left off with Jody. Budget-wise, what's the budget of the Clerk of Court's office, and how would you utilize the budget?
Well, the reality is clerk's offices across the state are struggling to make payroll. People don't realize the clerk's office is not funded by tax dollars. It's a fee for service. It's a business. And you need to be effective and efficient in terms of providing that service to the people. And by doing that and improving the services provided in the technology, improving your ability to respond to those requests and working with other entities, it makes your office more efficient. And I think there are things that definitely we can do improve in terms of improving technology, providing resources. There's great people who work at the clerk's office. I think the challenge has been is getting the resources they need to make those improvements. I know Jody mentioned that Lecrae is only for small. That's not true. It's for all of the state clerk's offices, and there's millions of dollars available. And unfortunately, it's been over 5 years, and we haven't made a request for any of that funding in Terrebonne Parish. And I think those are the types of things when the DA's office and the sheriff's office and the judicial process offers money to make those improvements. I think it's incumbent upon us to utilize that to increase the efficiency within that office so that we can better serve the people. It is a very important office, and I think it's important that we do everything we can to bring the office into the 21st century.
Okay, Ms. Burton, let me come to you. Talking about budget, obviously you're quite familiar with the
Yes.
budget of the clerk of court's office. So
I am.
what would you maintain or what would you change if you had the position?
Right now, the clerk's office has instituted all electronic services that are possible to the general public, every one that has been mandated. Basically, we are charging for these services, which is where we self-generate our own funding. In saying that, the budget on the clerk's office varies from one year to the next. You can have a natural disaster or a pandemic that is going to affect your budget. In the last 13 years, the clerk and I have worked together in making different adjustments in spending and hiring. We've been down from 72 employees to 54 now because of technology, in saving money. Today, the Terrebonne Parish Clerk's Office is fiscally sound with the work that we have put in to do that.
Just real quick, y'all like fooling with budgets?
Yes,
Or is it just part
it's
of
a
the job?
challenge.
I did,
Yes.
as chairman of appropriations, I did the budget for
Absolutely.
the state, so I can assure you.
Well,
that's-
good for y'all. I hate budgets.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. We got about 3 minutes left. Let's do a closing statement. Just what would you want people to know a little bit about extra about you? Mr. State Rep will give you the floor on this.
Okay. Well, again, Martin, thank you, and thank you, Jody, for being here, and I appreciate the opportunity. I think what Terrebonne needs is a clerk's office that is efficient and effective in providing the services that are so important to the people of this parish. And I think with my experience in serving in organizations and getting resources that are needed, can bring that to the clerk's office. And I think that we can utilize available resources that are there if we just take advantage of it. I think if we can incorporate just some of the things that have Lafouche and other agencies and other clerks' offices have built up, integrated systems that are working together to make things more efficient so that we can respond to the needs. I mean, unfortunately, right now, the sheriff's office, Tim, is hiring over 2 people, paying them over $200,000 per year to get the paperwork that they need because the minute clerks aren't processing paperwork daily, as like in Lafouche or other parishes. And so those are the things that put a burden on the people that utilize the office. And I think there are things that we need to do that we can make improvements within this office.
Okay, Ms. Burton?
Well, Martin, first off, thank you for having us here today. Today, we discussed some essential responsibilities of the clerk's office, but there are so many other aspects of this office that just haven't even been touched on. I think it is very important to recognize the role of the clerk of court and the many different responsibilities and the programs that are available. Every clerk's office throughout the state institutes its own software programs. Basically, we offer all electronic services to the public. It is built on the experience of what is needed, and as far as instilling other programs into this to help the courts, all the parties have to be on board with it. As I look to the future, one of my primary goals is to build on this electronic filing system. We're going to start e-filing criminal records in January. We have a lot of projects already on the board that are going to be instituted in the next 2 to 3 months. I firmly believe that the growth and implementation of these online resources are vital in moving our office forward. I'm dedicated to running a conservative and transparent office with excellent customer service at the forefront.
All right, I want to thank both of y'all for coming on today. We're going to have more because it's such a big office and we need more time. So keep your phones on you. We'll be
Okay.
calling y'all to come back and talk a little bit more. Thank y'all both for coming. We
Thank you
appreciate
for
it.
having us.
Thanks for having
All
me.
right, we'll take a break. Don't forget, we'll have more. Facebook and YouTube, you can watch us also. This segment was brought to you by Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs.